So we just thought it'd be a great transition to also apply that to the adults. So Stephanie and Cassandra, they proposed that idea and it was passed. And we started the Esports and Gaming Committee in San Antonio Library. It was a citywide, we started with maybe 10 members, and our first major program was Mario Day 2020. Mario Day is March 10th for Mario MAR 10 2020. It was a great event. It was a huge event. It exceeded our expectations. Marketing was on board. We had a lot of press. It was wonderful. We had an auditorium at our central location. We had over 100 participants. We offered a tournament, Super Smash Ultimate Tournament. Every participant had to play as Mario. And we have first, second, and third place prizes. And the first prize, I believe, was a Mario controller. Also, we had VR, Oculus Rift for a free play. We had arts and crafts. We had a photo booth. We had a DJ. It was a great event. Everything was phenomenal. So we thought our big event, we're getting started, the ball rolling, and bam, that was March 10th, 2020, and COVID hit. So then we had to pivot to different things. So I would also let Lorin talk about adult gaming before we get to the next part of our section.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to talk about the Adult Services Programming Committee, and this is a different committee. It's actually system-wide, so we formed different committees in response to the pandemic in April 2020, and so this group was really charged with doing programs for adults organized around the theme of games. And so it didn't just, I would say, it wasn't just video games, it included other types of games. And the other part about this committee as well is we did use several different platforms. So we used Zoom, Switch, there was even some other like YouTube as well. So there's a lot of different things going. And actually Discord was another one for D&D. And I'm going to turn it over to Yanel.
So as Lorin mentioned, when the libraries were initially shut down due to the pandemic, we realized programming and engaging our customers would be challenging, since this changed the way we traditionally interacted with our communities and did programming. Our library system is pretty large. It consists of more than 25 locations. So we had to find a way to organize ourselves and come up with the best ideas to continue providing services to the people who usually turn to the library for fun and entertainment. With the assistance of our adult services coordinator, groups of staff with similar interests and ideas were created. This helped us meet with other people within our same organization that we may have not met before. We met virtually and discussed different programming ideas. We created program proposals and we collaborated with each other to make things happen. We did basic proposals that of course included topics, program outlines, and of course the staff involved, their role, and when the program would take place. But then we had a new section, and that was platform. We began hosting programs on Zoom, YouTube, Twitch, as Lorin mentioned, Discord, and different gaming websites and applications, even consoles like the Nintendo Switch. So before the pandemic, I had not hosted a single program online, but I did spend many of my pandemic weekends home playing online games with random people online. So I suggested to a coworker we should start playing Mario Kart on the Switch and include other patrons who were probably at home after work too, bored. And we learned our library owned a Nintendo Switch console. So we started playing. The tournaments are still going on now, and after a whole year, attendance continues to increase. Currently, Lorin and I are working on an awesome program called Lorin and Yanel Play a Game. This is an innovative series. It's kind of like Reader's Advisory, but for Steam games. And in addition, we are working on something very special that's coming up soon with Edward and the Esports and Gaming Committee. And this will help us dip our toe into the world of League of Legends. And we're really looking forward to this. But it's been interesting to work on different platforms and using different equipment. So Lorin will speak a little more on that.
Thank you, Yanel. So I'm going to talk about equipment and tools, and this is a wonderful quote from Edward. So it's all trial and error and asking people. And so I think it really depends on the platform that you're using. Of course, if you're using a device or a console, you're going to be using that. With some of the platforms that we've used, like Discord, it's pretty minimal. You really just need a computer and a webcam and a microphone. Also, like if you're using Zoom, you don't really have to have anything fancy. But we have done a couple of forays into other platforms, so like the streaming platforms. So like Yanel and I have done streams on YouTube, and we're moving into Twitch. And of course, when you are doing that kind of program, you're going to need a lot more equipment. And so really you're going to want to have nice webcams, a nice microphone. You're probably going to want a good graphics card. You'll need some sort of broadcasting program like OBS Studio or SL OBS or something like that. You might even want lighting, like ring lights. And so it makes things very, very interesting, of course, but it is definitely doable. And I can say that is extremely enjoyable.
Great. So when we switched up, we started our major initiative after the pandemic started, was we started esports panel discussions. We enlisted organizations, and we enlisted St. Mary's University, Coach Caitlin, the St. Mary's University have an esports varsity team. Coach Travis, he's at Texas A&M University, San Antonio, they have an esports varsity team. Geekdom, the Port SA, local lounges, to have a panel discussion on YouTube to talk about esports in San Antonio. I think this was a good way that we use to engage our community, let them know that esports is here, and also try to get them to be more involved in gaming. We had a lot of programs that enlisted of gaming similar to the adult gaming programs. However, ours was a little different because we weren't all the way there yet, because we had our hand in a lot of pots. So therefore we sort of switched over after the panel discussions. We switched over to more of a online gaming things. We had Animal Crossing, we have Mario Kart, Super Smash tournaments, similar to the things that the adult gaming committee had also. So it was a big pivot, also can engage the community, but also have them know that it's a free space, it's a safe space. Just join us, come on and play. We're not going to be judged. Nobody's professionals. Just come and play and interact with us, because we know you can interact in person. So that's one of the biggest things we had to cover also. So we're going to cover in conclusion. Lorin, did you want to start off with that?
Oh, sure. I just wanted to mention again, we're really, really excited about this upcoming collaboration with Edward and the St. Mary's Esports team. Some of the members are going to join us, and we're going to talk about League of Legends. We're also working, or we have been working, to move that particular program that we have, which is Lorin and Yanel Play a Game, to Twitch, because we wanted to try to grow our audience a little bit. And of course, Twitch is very much a platform for gaming and gamers. And so that is something that we are really, really looking forward to. And it is going to be a 4-part series, and we're going to learn all about how to play League of Legends. And so I think it's going to be awesome.
And the esports,
yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, we welcome everyone to just join us. And as Edward mentioned, it's just a safe space for everyone to have some fun. We do make sure, of course, we moderate conversations if any occur, and we just continue engaging people throughout the chat on, for example, on Twitch and Discord, of course, with virtual Mario Kart. There isn't much dialogue. However, we do try to encourage people to just make their little comments and say, like, let's go, or I'm excited. And it's very fun for the most part. You don't have to be a professional. So I'm sorry, Edward, I interrupted.
No, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. So I just want to reiterate about the little tidbits about the panel discussions that we covered a lot of different topics on the panel discussions. The ones I found were my favorites were diversity, because we were trying to include inclusion, because a lot of people feel like, oh, we don't do this, we don't do that, I might have a disability. There's a lot of toxicity on when you have game chats, so we try to discuss that issue. We all talk about the future of esports, how we need to build an infrastructure in a city to be successful. And the Port San Antonio, they're building a 60 million gaming arena in San Antonio, so that's one of the things we want to talk about. And just how there's different levels of gaming. You don't have to be an esports professional gamer to be in gaming. There's marketing, there's promotion, you need programmers, there's different aspects of gaming that you can be involved in, that you don't think that you have to be the professional at playing League of Legends, you have to be the professional playing Call of Duty to be considered a gamer. It's a wide spectrum of things you need to do. And one other aspect we covered with Geekdom and Port say is that the tech skills you learn from being a gamer, be competitive, hands-on keyboard, being able to work as a cohesive unit. Those are all skills that people are looking for in the job community that gamers also have. So I just want to reiterate that point. Also, our upcoming events, as I mentioned before, we're doing League of Legends starting on the 23rd. You can check our events page for that. I think we have that also in our presentation. The Esports and Gaming Committee, we are going to have a National Video Games Day on September 11th, because it's on the 12th. We plan on having a cosplay contest, video game competitions, Ultimate Smash. We hope to have some other organizations join us to have that a successful event. And also at San Japan, we're going to have an esports panel at San Japan in San Antonio. So we're just trying to keep people engaged, even though we're allowing people back into the libraries and back into the community. We still want to have that aspect that they can still play online, and we still offer these programs and projects for them to engage us in. And Lorin, did you have any more to add to that? And also, please, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
I didn't really have much to add. I was going to ask Yanel if there were any other programs that she wanted to mention.
We have plenty of programs posted on our website. We have included that at the end of our presentation. Feel free to take a look. Even if you're at another library and you just want to pop in, say hi, and take a look at what we're working on, feel free to do so. Let me go ahead and check. I do have someone asking a question on the chat. Should we answer this?
Sure.
So let's see. We have someone asking about how we found, it says from Rebecca, how did you find staff that had similar interests across the system? Did you put a call out for people interested in specific topics? We actually did. We have an adult services coordinator that helps us create programs. And so what we did is we just created general topics, or we also asked people what they were interested in. And then from there, let's say, I believe initially we had 4 topics. Staff decided to join in and just create different things and work with each other. And it wasn't anything extremely formal at first. It was more of an idea pool. And from there, we just all met each other. I hadn't met 3 or 4 of the people involved in the group at first, and it was nice. You get to meet other people throughout your system. As I said, it's 25 locations. So I actually had never worked with Edward before until recently. So it's been very nice. The pandemic changed the way we did things, but it also helped us learn more about us as an organization. So it's been nice.
Okay. I also want to add that being a teen liaison, all of us play video games. We all do that. So we had an idea back in the past, even before COVID, that we should have a vintage gaming day playing Mario or the old Street Fighter. And that just pretty much evolved because we were talking about our love of video games. It just evolved to the esports committee. But I also just saw a new question in the chat from Hamilton. My suggestion would be talk to your admins and just first get your vision of what you want to do and just flush that out. Run your idea by people, and there's really not a bad idea. Just make sure you flush it out and that you can meet those parameters that your system could do. San Antonio, we're a large city. However, we don't have that much money at times. So we just try to do things that we're capable of doing with the resources we have. And you also need to think of it that people are resources, just not money or things of that nature. So you may have a friend who may be involved in gaming. So you can bounce ideas off of him. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? What equipment would work best? What equipment won't work best? We basically use switches across the board because those are easy. You can get multiple players on those. It's just an easy system to use. Now with the new Xbox X and the new PlayStation 5, those are highly expensive and rarely you can get a hold of them. So I think switches, and also if you want to build a custom computer, that's very expensive also. So I would just start low with switch. For instance, at my branch, we still have a Wii U. So me and my teams, we play on a Wii U, Mario Kart, and Super Smash Brothers. So I just think if you just have the vision, flush it out, run the idea by people, and just work within the parameters of your system, it may be a good thing to do. But at the same time, if you do go to older systems like the Wii U, I don't know about your area, but GameStop, they have games particularly for $5 or $6 for those old systems. And the kids love them and adults will love them also because that's had a nostalgic effect for those games. So that might be an idea to address that issue. Hope that helps answer your question. Were there any games that weren't successful?
I don't know of any that have been unsuccessful. We have very simple games that have been successful, such as playing chess with a librarian online. That's fairly simple. It requires no money whatsoever. So it's very straightforward. People would just log in and play with a librarian. And that's still going on, and it's worked. You really don't need, as Edward mentioned, much money or a specific console. You can play free games online with the community, and usually people do enjoy it.
And another issue, going back to Hamilton, we have a lot of gaming lounges in San Antonio that we partner with when we did our esports panels. And even though COVID took a toll on them, there are a lot of people out there who would help you just to get the things going because they're excited about gaming. They want to get more people involved in gaming. So that's another thing to think about. Games that aren't successful, that's very hard to say because I think a lot of people, even adults, I like playing the old games. I'm not really too much into new games, but the old games are oldies are goodies. So I prefer those, but I never seen anything that hasn't been successful. But also depends on what are your standards. Are you going for the quantity of how many people play or the quality of the program? I think we always go for the quality of the program to make sure we have a solid program that everybody will enjoy. Therefore, we try to do our best as possible to supply games that are in demand or people enjoy playing and that we enjoy playing. When you say cons, do you mean Comic Cons, like Comic Con? Is that what you referred to? Okay.
Yeah.
I could sort of answer this. Before we even started the e-gaming committee, we would go, Stephanie Vasquez and I, we would visit local high schools. Those local high schools, there's in Northside, they have a Nirvana festival. It's like Nirvana Con. They have different cons. In San Antonio, we have San Japan. It's a Comic Con. And we would go there and set up a room with manga. And we'll also set up a Wii U or Switch. So we'll go to those things and play games with them and try to get get the library's name out there. So promotion wise, we would just do a lot of outreach, a lot of community engagement, but that's the only promotion we would really do. Gaming stores, not so much, because as a public entity, we really can't promote things that charge or things of that nature. So everything we do here is free. So we would go to the cons and just promote the library. We would go to community events and promote the library. We would play games with the staff or with the public, but we really didn't go too much to game stores. And it's sort of hard to fine line with the city of what you can, who you can use as a vendor, and who you can't. So it's a long process with that. I hope that answers your question. That's a sort of hard
Yeah.
one.
Lorin, do you want to speak a little bit on how you promote your events? I think it's a really good way.
Really? Well, I mean, there's like a community website, it's due to 10. And so I do put listings there because people are interested. And I think especially when the pandemic was at its worst and everybody was stuck at home, people were really going online to try to figure out what to do. So that was one place that I thought was super helpful.
Yeah, local community boards usually allow postings for free, so that's nice.
Meetup, didn't Lauren, don't you use Meetup also?
Well, it's interesting because the library actually has a Meetup account. And so our adult services coordinator will make Meetup events. And so it is really, really helpful as well.
And also social media is a great way to promote things.
Yeah. Any other questions, anyone? Feel free to add them into the chat.
And also, we're also available. You have our email addresses there. Please feel free to email us if you have any questions after that. Oh, wow, that's awesome.
That looks cool.
I have to check that out. Also, before we leave, I want to give a shout out to Cleveland Public Library. Tristan helped us a lot with setting things up. He spoke with us, and I just want to let him know, acknowledge him, because Cleveland Public Library has an awesome Twitch page, and he gave us a lot of pointers on how to set up the best practices. So I also suggest that check out Tristan at Cleveland Public Library also, because he has a wonderful gaming page there. I guess that would do. Do you have anything to add before we leave? Actually, we did pretty good. We used 25 minutes. It's awesome, even with the hiccups in the beginning.
Pretty cool. I just wanted to thank everyone for coming to our presentation.
And you can also check out our event calendar at mysapple.com.org. I'm sorry, mysapple.org. And one thing I did forget to mention, our panel discussions, we do have those on YouTube. I think the playlist is on our proposal page. And we also had podcasts to follow up the panel discussion. So please check those out also. Thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.